Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is Wednesday and I am going to talk a little today about different phone scams. I have been getting some calls lately that are just, to me, absurd, but I know people fall for them. You know, I know that if someone's calling saying they're from the government, because I do get Social Security, I get disability, but I also know that Social Security is not going to call me. You know, I know that unless they send me a letter saying that they're going to call me, they're not going to call me. You know, I know this. But not everybody does. And I understand that. And I also know I just got, JR and I just bought a new vehicle at the beginning of March. And I have been getting so many phone calls talking about my extended warranty and this and that. And it's like, are you kidding me? I know what is available. He and I looked into it a lot before. But since we bought this new vehicle, we have been getting so many phone calls about our extended warranty. And it's like, leave me alone. You know, stop calling me. But I know that recently the Supreme Court extended they changed the laws around robocalls and around scam calls. So I know more people are getting scam calls, and it's just outrageous to me. One thing I have been looking at this past morning is I went to the FTC website, Federal Trade Commission, and they have a page strictly for phone scams. And they tell you the different types of phone scams, identity thefts, how to recognize if something's a scam. There's no prize. You're not going to be arrested. FBI is not going to call you and tell you they're coming to your house. It's not going to happen. You don't have to decide. You know, all of these things. And I'm going to link this website in the description box so people can go and look at it, because it just astonishes me that people don't understand that these things are scams, or these are imposters. There are debt relief scams. People, especially right now with the pandemic and people being out of work, with the stimulus, people are constantly getting phone calls about these imposters. They want to help you with your credit. You know, they want to, as the extended warranty right there, the loan scams, they want to give you a loan. They want to help you with your loan. They want to give you a prize. You know, the best thing to do is hang up. Don't even, don't trust it. And a lot of times, and now I have AT&T cell, and my AT&T will tell me if it's a likely scam. And now I still answer because sometimes it's not, but they'll tell me there's a spam risk. You know, there is a risk that it's not who you think it is, or it's not someone legitimate. Now, unfortunately, my doctor's office for some strange reason comes up as spam risk, and I know it's not a spam risk. That's why I answer them. But if they start talking to me about a prize that I won, or about a free vacation, or about something like that, my warranty, that's the most common one right now is, and I know it's because we just bought a new vehicle. And it's just, I just don't understand. And see, my mother-in-law, she's 80 years, well, she'll be 80 years old this year, and she gets caught in these things all the time, and we're constantly trying to explain to her, don't talk to these people, don't answer them. You know, here is another, this is also the FTC site. It's under scams, and it says how to avoid them, and how to report them. And you can go to the FTC site, and it shows you what to do. It tells you what the common scams are, especially with Social Security. People get, they get duped out of Social Security. Don't ever give people your information, your Social Security number over the phone, unless it's, like I said, Social Security, because I get disability. So I do on occasion get calls from Social Security, but I know that before they call me, they will send me a letter Social Security will send a certified letter, or not even certified, just a letter saying, okay, this is Social Security, this is, why we need to call and talk to you about such and such thing, and we're calling at this time on this day, and it's like an appointment that they will call you, and if you haven't gotten a letter and you haven't gotten something like this, and they claim they're from Social Security, it's not true. Because Social Security, they will let you know. They're not just going to call you. And then another common one is Medicare, especially around open enrollment, because I do have Medicare as well. Around open enrollment, I get all kinds of phone calls wanting me to, you're not getting all your benefits. I see commercials as well on TV, but I get calls all the time. You're not getting all your benefits and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I know my insurance. I keep up with my insurance. And the best way for people to realize that it is a scam is keep up with your insurance. Keep up with if you're on Social Security, keep up with the policies of the different departments that you're talking to. The companies or the things that you deal with on a daily basis, keep up with that information so you know whether or not people are going to call you or not. I have had scammers call me trying to get insurance information. I have Medicare, I have People's Health, and I know I'm very involved with my health insurance, so I know what benefits I have with Medicare, and I talk to my People's Health representatives, and I know what is offered to me, what I have, what I don't have, what is not a benefit. So I know this, and the best thing for people to do is to learn about what you have so that you're not a victim of this. Another one is the unemployment. Right now with unemployment, there's a lot of imposters calling with the state of the world today. And like I said, the best thing to do is educate yourself. The FTC has these websites. They have this website so that you can go and you can look at the resources. Managing Your Bills is one that's on this FTC page about common scams, COVID vaccines, and there is a lot of information on these FTC websites. Better Business Bureau also has a website. I will try and link that below. They have a website for so that it has a scam website about phone numbers and different businesses that are scams, and you can go to the BBB site and they can help you as well. They give you tips and tricks and things about trying to avoid being a victim of these scams. When I was in my early 20s, I didn't know a whole lot about how identity theft worked. Now, when I was in my 20s, that was 20 years ago, and identity theft was a fairly newer, it wasn't new, but it was a newer thing that was going on. And when I was 20 years old, I had my identity stolen. Someone got a hold of a checkbook of mine. I don't know if I had lost it or something, and they went to Walmart and they wrote all kinds of checks at Walmart, and it was back when people actually used to write checks, and I had my identity stolen, and it took me years to get all of that fixed, to get my identity back, to get all the things. I still, to this day, if I can't write a check, not that I would write a check right now. I have a checking account, but I use debit cards. I don't use checks anymore. But I can't, if I wanted to write a check at Walmart, I still couldn't because of everything that had happened to me when I was in my 20s. And it's just horrible that people do this. I understand people all over the world want something for nothing. I totally understand that. I don't. I'm on disability, yes, and part of me feels that is getting something for nothing, but I did work for years, and I'm not mentally at a place where I can work. The mental capacities that you need to hold down a regular job every day, I just don't have that ability. I do this YouTube channel. I do my channel that I document my weight loss, and I do this channel that I document different relationship things for JR and I, and different social things that I do with this channel, but I don't do it every day. You know, I have seen YouTube burnout. I've seen many channels that I used to watch that have gotten YouTube burnout and they can't do it anymore and they quit. They just give up. And I know that that's a real thing. So I don't do this every single day. Even though I upload 5 days a week, I only work maybe 3 days a week. You know, I record in bulk. JR and I will sit down and do multiple videos at a time so that I can edit. Marcus, my son, helps me out with editing so that I'm not doing this every day. I only work like 3 days a week, but I can do this. We're still growing our channels right now. So I do look at social media, and I do marketing on social media, but I can do personal as well as business stuff at the same time, so I'm not getting burned out. But you know, I know that these scammers and things, that's my issue. I see these scams all over the place, and with this pandemic and quarantine, scams have gotten worse. I mean, it's gotten so much worse, and people just need to be more aware of things that they tell people. Don't be so quick to hold a conversation and tell people your life story. You know, they don't need to know about your parents or about your brother and sister. I mean, you can tell them about your kids. Everybody brags about their kids. I brag about my kid, you know. But personal information they don't need. You know, they don't need to know that. They don't need to know when your birthday is or when your parents' birthday is. They don't need to know that. You know, a stranger in the store doesn't need to know all your personal information, you know. And that's something that, you know, people being nice and they're in a conversation and they start talking about things and they don't realize some of the things that they volunteer that can be used against them, you know. And scammers are quick, especially you never know who's a scammer. You know, you don't know if the person that you're talking to could use that information and scam you or try and harm you in some way, financially, physically, or whatever. So being on your guard is something that you should work to be, you know, try not to be a victim, try not to, you know, try to protect your personal information, because it's so easy to be scammed nowadays. It really is. And we just have to work together to combat these people who would scam anybody just to get something for nothing. So, but that's going to be all for today. And I will be back next week. I'll actually be back tomorrow, probably with a recipe. And I hope to see you next week. So you have a nice day. Be kind and be loving to each other. Just don't be a victim. Don't volunteer too much. But I hope you leave a like and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And I'll be back next week. Have a nice week. Bye-bye.